what does Miami sound like? I'm headed to the downtown area to figure it out. I'm meeting hospitality dynamo and longtime friend Brigitte Gill, as she has a spot that not only serves up great drinks, but impeccable sound as well. The wooden sound panels outside give the place away as we step into a spot that instantly transports you to what you might find in a Japanese alleyway. For being above ground, this feels pretty underground, but Miami's below sea level, so I guess it works out.
This is definitely the best seat in the house. Right? Like, you're the DJ booth.
This is different.
It's so different, but it's so sick. Man, see, that's the details in this place. Everything's just so detail-oriented.
I feel like I'm in a music studio right now.
And I think that's the whole allure of this place, is that it has that vibe between the paneling and the decibel reader and, you know, just all of it is, it's incredible.
Yeah. So, as a bartender, you always want to change the music. I know I do.
Yeah.
When I'm working,
For sure.
I'm like, I'm tired of this song. I need to hear something else. They have the luxury of bartending, and then they could just jump over and, you know what? No more Bad Bunny.
Easy, first of all.
Shots fired.
Die-hard Bad Bunny fan, okay?
Okay, all right. Fair.
CD killer.
He's
I'm the one putting the Bad Bunny on. But yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we're behind the bar. We're hearing usually similar sets day in and day out. We're there 4 or 5 days a week. So being able to actually have a hand in the say of that, that's amazing.
Well, it's definitely a unique concept. It feels like they're popping up more and more. You're seeing more and more vinyl bars, unique. And supposedly the cocktails are pretty good here too.
Yeah. So this was the first one I've ever been to. Believe it or not, yeah.
Okay.
You know, just coming back from San Diego after 7+ years, moving back to Miami and getting reacquainted with the city, I said, I want to check out all the new spots because this place Miami's unrecognizable compared to what it was when I left 7 years ago, right? So I'm like, let me find all of the little gems. You know, I already know the big spots.
Right.
I've known them for years. They're still there, and I love them to death. I have worked out a couple of the number ones.
With me.
Exactly. So I wanted to find the hidden gems, the true Miami spots that make Miami our local feel, right?
And so you're from here originally, correct?
So born and raised Miami Beach.
Okay.
Lived there for most of my life. Super homegrown girl. I mean, I went to high school in South Beach. So I'm a diehard Miami girl.
Okay.
So that's why I love these really organic, authentic spaces that bring that real, like, that vibe, right? That make Miami what it is.
Right.
And when I walked in here for the first time, I was like, whoa, not only is this so unique, but this feels Miami.
It's different.
They were playing like fun disco music with like a remix to Juan Luis Guerra. And I was like, now I'm home. I finally felt like I was home.
I'm white. You lost me. I have no idea what that
Who
is.
told you? Oh no. We were keeping it a secret.
You're gonna have to translate that for me, Brigitte.
Yeah, so I mean, just like authentic Hispanic culture integrated into what is now the new Miami as well.
Right.
I mean, I know there's been a huge influx of people from all over the world.
So this is the $1 million question then. What is Miami culture?
That is $1 million question. And I would say Miami culture is everything. And that's why it's so beautiful. It's everything and anything you want it to be.
It's a melting pot.
Exactly. So funny enough, my high school used to have, where we used to eat, our cafeteria was called the Melting Pot with a beautiful mural in the background. And that was Miami Beach High. You know, and you would walk through the hallways and you would hear 5 or 6 different languages spoken at once.
That's crazy.
And, you know, you go through your whole life hearing that and experiencing that, and it becomes your norm. You think this is normal, right?
Right.
You know, you're going to your friend's dinner on Friday at, you know, Jewish home, beautiful dinner, and then on Saturday you're going to the Puerto Rican barbecue. On Sunday you're in little Havana.
Cuban household,
Rolling.
roasting the pig.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the first time I had ever seen that, okay? Thanksgiving, I go to a Cuban friend's house, family invites me over, amazing food. and there's a whole pig in the backyard just en rotisserie.
I mean, I've done it. You know,
It's like, oh no, I'm next. That's it.
you're in no danger.
Am I in danger?
But exactly, like that's exactly it. You just anywhere, every pocket of this city is so unique. You know, you've got Sunny Isles, and it's got its own little culture, and you get great Russian food up there.
Exactly.
You know, you've got little Haiti, and you can get like amazing food there. Just, I guess, I really love food. I know I talk about food a lot, but I think that's what determines a city's diversity is how many different cuisines can you try
Exactly.
at any given moment.
And so we're getting away from cuisines and we're getting more into cocktails, bar culture. And the best thing about Miami, for me anyways, is just, again, because it's such a melting pot, you're able to experience worldwide cocktail menus.
Oh.
And, you know, here especially, this is Japanese influence. And it's just sitting right in the middle of downtown Miami. There's some beauty to that, you know, and it's not so much that I think growing up down here, you gain more of an appreciation for different cultures, more so than someone who grew up in a different part of the United States. There's just more here, and you're kind of forced into learning everybody's customs and ways of doing things because that's how you gain your friend groups. Otherwise, you're solo dolo on your own.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, that's not fun for anyone. So you're kind of forced into gaining perspective. So, you know, Miami culture, it is everything. That was a great answer because you have to. You force yourself into everything. And, yeah, that's
It's not even forced, it's just you're like enveloped in it. It hugs you. You know, it's like you don't even experience.
very warm hug.
Yeah, like you don't even know it.
Humanity at all times.
Till 100, right? Unless it's just pouring.
And an eventual hurricane, right?
And you know, a little tornado.
Occasional hurricane that comes along. It happens.
No, I mean, that's definitely, I think, the beauty of the city when it comes to not just the diversity and the culture, but what it brings and what that means, right? People bring their own flavor to the table and their own way of doing things. And, you know, you're having like a pisco sour, right? And you're like, okay, that's weird. But why is it so delicious? And what's pisco? Oh, Peruvian? Oh, got it. Okay. And then you go to the next spot and you're having, you know, sake infused cocktails. It's just, you can have it all in this little
Smorgasbord of culture.
And that's something you can't take away from it.
Absolutely not. So, that being said, why'd you leave?
I get that question a lot.
And you went as far away as possible. You went to the literal other side of the country.
I did. I love beautiful places, okay? And I love beautiful scenery. And I went from Miami going, okay, well, where else can I live that is maybe as beautiful as here, but different enough to where I'm experiencing something new? So I spent some time in Colorado.
Okay.
Just for myself. And then, you know, spent a couple months in the mountains and just kind of reconnected with myself over there.
Smoked a lot of weed.
Did not. No. Actually, you know, like, I mean, it's cool because over there it's like buying toilet paper. You just walk into a place and you're like, I want that. And they're like, oh, well, we have 7 options of this. You're like, whoa. So that was definitely a culture shock. But I was landlocked and I realized I can't do landlocked.
Right.
So my brother had been, I need an ocean. So my brother had been in San Diego for about 20 plus years at that point. He was in the Marines and, you know, he fell in love with it. He's a mega surfer. So he loved it, stayed. So I was like, all right, I already rented out my house, sold my car. Let me just keep going west. So I go, all right, I'm just going to keep going west. I'm going to end up in San Diego, which I've always loved. I've visited a ton of times, and it is a beautiful city. Between the mountains and the ocean and just all of it, it's truly breathtaking. So I decided to move over there and be closer with my brother. And one of the things I loved the most about San Diego is its proximity to Mexico.
There you go.
Because that is...
Tequila's cheap, tacos are good.
Yeah, absolutely. And the wine, they have an incredible wine valley. It's called Valle de Guadalupe. And it's, I don't know, like don't quote me on this, I think like an hour and a half exactly from the border.
Okay.
Right? So just crossing from San Diego, you can be there hour and a half to 2 hours. And this wine valley is majestic. The views you get from these wineries are incredible. So that was definitely a highlight to moving in that area.
So you go from one of the top nightclubs in the world, bartending. All of a sudden, you're out in San Diego. You find yourself in the nightlife scene. Once again, you're drawn to hospitality.
Yeah.
Your hospitality, like through and through.
For sure.
And you find yourself running a nightclub, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started out as a bartender over in San Diego. And then right after COVID, I went into management.
Okay.
And so I started operating. I was one of the operating managers at their top nightclub in San Diego.
Nightclubs in San Diego.
Yeah, one of the top nightclubs in San Diego. And it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life.
What made it incredible for you?
Because it was so different, but also just San Diego they have really cool people there, man. Like the vibe is just so different. Like I came from Miami, which is flash and Lamborghinis and Ferraris and, women are dressed to the...
We were just talking about how warm it was.
Women are dressed to the nines, going into a club, and people are there to, just
Show off.
show off. In a sense, that's what we do here. We're
Sure.
a bit of showy people. You go to San Diego and you're like looking at these people in line in their sneakers that are going to a top nightclub, but are there for the vibes and the music. They're there to dance. They're there to listen to the DJs. And they're there to take in, at the time I was working at an EDM club, and they're there to hear some of the best names in the world playing here in San Diego. They're there in San Diego and, they're wearing cargo pants.
Very laid back vibe.
So laid back. I mean, it's true. It's laid back.
Yeah.
But, so is that energy, and the people are laid back. And last call is 1:45, which was so wild for
That's
me.
a quick night.
It is. I mean, we're not busy till past that here.
Yeah.
And they're lights on at 1:45.
Yeah, no, we're getting going in Miami at 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah. I know. It's a rush.
We're flowing down at 3 p.m. when the sun's out.
Exactly. It's a lot of rules over there, which I thought was a little surprising too. But
So not all the way laid back.
nah, the people are laid back. The rules are not.
Okay. So bringing it back to Miami, Miami calls your name.
Mm.
You got to come back home.
Yeah. I was ready. I loved San Diego, but if I didn't leave, I think my friends would have kicked me out. They were so tired of hearing me talk about Miami. And there's just a lot of things that I missed about it. But I think
So many Heat jerseys you can see on a daily basis.
Heat jerseys, 11 hats. Like, the FOMO was real.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I missed the ocean. We have the warmest, clearest ocean anywhere. And spending a lot of time in San Diego, I started traveling a bit. I was going all over the world, traveling Europe. And I felt like everywhere I went, I was still searching for a little piece of Miami in those places, whether it was the warm ocean, the beautiful beaches,
Right.
the nightlife, the food that was being the diversity. I was always looking for that anywhere I went.
Something was just calling you back here.
And
It's home for you.
exactly. So I knew it was time to come back here.
Okay. And so now you're back, and you're back working at one of the top nightclubs in the world again. Well, you've moved away from bartending. You've hung up your bar opener, and you're in, again, a hosting position, and you're in it in yourself. You're still a manager of your own section in a sense.
Yeah.
Everyone's a host, but everyone's really a manager when you're a host.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're managing personalities, you're managing the party, and you're facilitating the party. And that's something that you've always done very well.
Thank you. And I didn't know that because I had never done that specific role before. And I'm still, for the most part, getting acquainted with it. But I am enjoying it quite a bit, and it is different for me, which I think is cool because I've been in this industry since I was 14. I am now not 14. I'm not just how old I am.
22, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, around there? Okay.
So over 20 years in this industry, and this is the first time I've ever done this role, and I've done every other role, right? From waitressing to bartending to managing, I've done it all. So this is my first new challenge in a little while. And it's been really exciting because it's a fun job.
It is a fun.
It actually is a fun job. It's high level stress for sure, but you actually get to slow down a little bit and connect with people in a way that I couldn't do as a bartender or waitress or manager.
Or as a normal person.
Or
It's organized chaos. And the job that we have to do as hospitality workers is not for everyone. The hours, getting out of work when the sun's coming up, getting to work at times when people are dead asleep.
No.
It's a pretty crazy lifestyle that we live.
It's a sacrifice for sure in a lot of those ways. I think for me, the biggest sacrifice is the hours. Because aside from that, I'm passionate about all of the rest. And even then you get used to the hours, and I think it only kind of starts to affect you in times when you're, settling down with someone or like a relationship and their hours are 9 to 5 and they just don't understand how you do it or, whatever. Or the stigmas associated with the hours that are not necessarily accurate at all. So
What are some of the stigmas?
I feel like a lot of people that I meet have a theory that maybe we're partying the whole time we're there. And it's like, dude, no, I don't even get to take a drink half the time because
No one would survive.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 or 5 days of this, 40 plus hours a week. Like, it's not sustainable.
Brigitte has some fantastic insight, but I want to dig a bit deeper into how this bar and its staff are making magic happen. And it just so happens, Brigitte knows a certain somebody.
So you know the guy that owns this place.
I've met him, yes. I've met him. He's very hospitable. And when I've come in a couple times, he's always working. So it's easy to spot him. He's usually running the place behind the bar, behind the DJ booth, at the door. So it's in a great spot. So it's easy to meet him.
What's up, man?
Good, how are you?
Vaughn, nice to meet you.
Gil, nice to meet you.
Gil, pleasure. What's up, sir?
Hey, what's up, Chris? Nice to meet you.
Vaughn, nice to meet you.
Hello, how are you, Chris?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that stood out to me the most when I first came in here, aside from just the sheer cool element of this place and the music, which was incredible, and the cocktails, was the hospitality. The bartenders were so kind and so attentive. I mean, this place gets packed. You can hardly walk through it, and you walk up to the bar, and the bartenders are skilled bartenders. They're not just pushing out vodka sodas here.
Yeah,
They're making, they're doing really detail-oriented craft cocktails. They have a great little wine selection, which I really appreciated. I love Albarino, and they happen to have that on the menu. I thought that was interesting. Very cute.
Gil, would you mind telling us a little bit about the concept?
The concept? Yeah, sure. It's a Japanese listening bar.
Okay.
But it's operated a little different from a typical Japanese listening bar because we're in Miami.
Right.
So we let the party go. Usually a Japanese listening bar, you gotta sit down and speak really low. But here, Miami, how it is.
Nobody speaks slow.
Nobody sits slow.
Not our thing.
Nobody sits down,
Nobody drives fast,
Yeah.
Nobody uses blinkers.
Everybody's calm, but it's all about the sound, the music, and the harmony that goes with everything together.
See, that's exactly how you constructed the place. It's built for sound. That's why it's in the name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got the panels up on the wall. It looks like a music studio in here. That's my first impression. As soon as I walked in, it looks like a music studio.
That was kind of the approach when the designer came up with. It's a cozy.
So pretty much
Didn't you, Chris?
the room is pretty much acoustic treated. The equipment that we currently have, it's very nice. Came all the way from Japan. The tannoys
Was it from Japan?
Yes, that's correct. It's top and bottoms, and then everything is fully powered by Macintosh. These are the beauties and amplify the whole sound system. For monitors, we got a little bit of Devon Ojas. It's an audio designer coming from New York. The mixer, it's a very nice piece of equipment that we have here. This comes from London. It's called an Isono 420. It's a full-on analog rotary mixer with 2 independent isolators that make the sound very, very, very nice. For turntables, we got standard Technics MK7s, 1200s. And then we also have CDDs 3000. We try to keep it analog, but we also have room for digital sounds, you know? So we have a lot of people coming from all over the world. They're trying to spin records over here.
Right.
And that pretty much, and for atmosphere, we got glitch that are hidden all over the room, and that what makes the room fully or powerful.
No, I mean, I've been in plenty of bars, and you go to a dive bar and it's power, noise, your eardrums are blowing out, and here the sound is perfect.
So what we try to do is also keep an eye on the decibel meter. Also, we hear on the BU meter from the Macintosh, you can see the decibels that we're running once we're mixing. And having a tube amplifier, I think for every DJ, it's like a dream come true. Coming and playing and this type of equipment, it's like driving a Lamborghini.
So there's passion in here, and it's a paradise for
it's paradise. It's very comfortable for a DJ to come in and spin here. You just gotta bring your records and your vibe and have a good time.
Right.
Especially with the nice doctors. What can you do, you know?
Pairs well.
Perfect.
In my lifetime, we've gone through cassette tapes, gone through CDs, we've gone through MP3 players where I ruined like 3 of my family's computers downloading.
LimeWire is worth the thing. I've been there, done that.
And now we're at streaming.
Right.
But all of those have gone extinct before streaming. They're all gone. Vinyl has stood the test of time. Why do you think that is?
I believe it's a sophistical format, no? Something that you use your senses to it. You can touch it, smell it, see it. Right. And it's something that it's also like a collectible item. It's also something that we relate, we saw our parents collecting records too as well. And then, to be honest, it's one of the best formats to listen to this. It's just a very sensitive piece of gear,
Yeah. No, there's a big human integration into.
100%.
I think that's at least my opinion of why it stood the test of time is because you have to put effort into.
That's where digging. Digging takes a lot of time. Finding music that people don't usually hear, and having this type of room when it's like intimate, cozy, and you can project that energy to the people around it. It's just a beautiful,
very personal
thing,
Right. Gotcha. So Gil, I mean, tell me a little bit more about, because again, as a bartender, you always want to change the song, but little to none of us have the ability to actually do so right next to our bar well.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the cocktail and actually working here. What does it feel like?
Well, I tell you what, sometimes being next to the DJ can go against you because you're at reach, Yeah. They always want to ask for drink.
He's stealing shots.
Yeah, it's like, I want to drink, and you're like 3 head deep, and they don't care. They don't understand. You look at them with a death stare and like, leave me alone, Like, you want me to pay you? I need to sell these people.
So it's like a bad marriage, basically.
Yeah, kind of, but it's good at the same time because you kind of connect with that world as well.
Right.
And you realize they're very similar. The bar world, the DJ world, they correlate. You see the DJs everywhere when you go out after work. It's the same people. Same community in a way.
Right. And it's always been separate. So now to see it blended together.
Yeah.
And it works so seamlessly. I mean, that's a big reason why I can see these concepts popping up more and more. It's because it's so original, yet it works.
Yeah.
It is like the perfect track, just mixing together,
Exactly. It's kind of like a house party.
Exactly. Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah.
But a little bit more sophisticated in a way.
Yeah.
More grown up.
Yeah.
Professional house
Professional,
party.
yeah.
We didn't have that kind of sound quality of the house party there.
I don't think so.
Next to the cake stands and the girl passed out throwing up in her hair.
Yeah. No red cuts allowed, also.
No red cup?
No red.
No solos, huh?
No solos.
So what is allowed? Tell me about the cocktail menu because I know a lot of thought goes into creating that menu.
So cocktail menu. I wanted to create a cocktail menu that's fresh, tasty, easy to recreate and keep the same consistency at all time, but yet like use techniques that are a little bit harder to produce at the same time.
Right.
Phil, I mean, if you had to sell us a drink that was the epitome of Miami Sound Bar, what would you sell them?
Honestly, just the drink that sells the most, and we love it and hate it at the same time, is the Blind Melon.
Oh, I love it. Blind Melon.
Yeah.
Just like the band.
Yeah, it's just like a super green drink with like honeydew juice and a spicy rim that everybody loves for some reason. He has tequila too, maybe that's why. Just like birthday. Yeah.
A little more spicy than sweet, but sure.
Yeah, that's the case, typically. I would love to try that.
Okay, I'll make you one for sure, man. All right, we should got it. I'll get to it.
Thanks, sir.
Welcome.
Blind Melon.
Enjoy.
Verdict is almost in. Cheers to you all.
That's incredibly refreshing. I would pound this.
My white ass can't handle this.
Is it spicy?
I'm gonna stay away from that spice.
All right, the spice is from Tijuana, actually.
Is it? Wait, you took me that after.
It's a worm salt.
You did this to me on purpose.
It's worm, like worm.
Like sal de gusano.
You know what's something crazy I had in Mexico? There was a little resort we used to go to, my brother and I, across the borders in Rosarito, and they had a pitcher with a snake in it, a rattlesnake, full of tequila. And we would take shots straight out of the rattlesnake.
Well, tequila ester is Moscato Silvestre is tequila.
Yeah, that is fly.
Give me your taste profile. Let me know what you think about this. Analyze it a little bit.
I mean, it's incredibly refreshing, and to be honest with you, I love the taste of mezcal. But having it in a cocktail and not tasting it head on the way that you do when you just sip on it, it gives it a completely different element, right? It's now like a sip, like I could have this like during the day by a pool.
Right. Are you getting smoky out of it or no?
Slightly, but not the way that I would if I was just sipping on it.
Right. It's not.
What cutting the smoke so much in here? What agents in
It's
these?
balancing that out.
The pomegranate, pineapple. There's a lot of layers of flavors there. They're just they play well together and they take away the smokiness. It's not just one thing. It's like
This is what I call a dangerous cocktail.
yeah.
Because it tastes like juice. And it's delicious.
And usually when people order, they order these two, like together. Like when it's a couple, they usually say Blind Melon and Fania.
What people don't
You must switch it up.
What people don't realize is that mezcal has a higher alcohol content, though.
This one is 40%.
That one, okay.
There's just a hint of smoke on that. You can't even tell that's
Oh, that's
mezcal.
delicious.
That's fantastic. Very fruity.
It's delicious too. You said this was spicy?
The salt. It's spicy for me.
Yeah, the salt's spicy.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
That's sweet.
there it is. Found it.
I mean, I'm like coughing on ketchup, you know, Caucasian dude.
I'd be willing to trade. This is actually delicious too. The
Dude,
vodka.
I wasn't gonna give it back. So.
Okay. And is this a piece of melon?
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's awesome.
So usually what they do is you grab the piece of melon and then there you go.
He's also a bartender, not just the vinyl DJ.
You're a Swiss Army knife over there. Mexican Army knife. I'm sorry.
There you go.
That's a switchblade.
That's one of a kind.
Wait, and he makes the best tacos.
Oh yeah, I do.
You got the best tacos in Miami, huh?
Or actually, the best guacamole he makes.
The best tacos in Miami, I would say El Primo, El Porky. You should try them. They're very good.
No, Porky's.
Which one? El Porky or the Pastor tacos, very nice.
Yeah.
So I have a question about the place
Yeah.
itself, because when I first heard about it, I was with a girlfriend who was visiting me from Fort Lauderdale. We were getting reacquainted with Miami. I just moved back, and we found the place online. We're coming over here, and I'm like, I walked past it. Then I walked back this way, and I saw a pizza shop. I think it was a Pilates studio or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I just see plain paneling, and I don't hear anything. And then there's just a really cool cat outside sitting on a stool, kind of just looking at us. And I go, this might be it. You don't even see a door, right? And then finally we approach and he's so kind. And he's like, yeah, ladies, come on in. The door opens, there's a curtain, and I hear sound for the first time. And you're just blown away about not only how loud, but how clear and beautiful the sound is, but the fact that you just could not hear it at all outside.
Yeah, that's a crazy architecture angle.
What was the concept behind that? Did you want to make it a little more like speakeasy style or hidden that way? Or?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. We wanted it to be harder to find per se. It goes better with the concept as well. But if you know where it is, you know where it is, and if not, like most of the people for the first time, they go back and forth. And sometimes we like, you guys going to Miami Soundbar, especially if it's a group of 3 girls, they give us attitude. I'm like, open. And then they end up coming back, and their faces when they come back is the best. It's priceless. It's like, I tried to tell you, but you thought I was hitting on you.
Yeah, I remember that experience. Walking back down that way, coming up this way, going, Amanda, where are you taking me? This is how we lose a kidney. Like, I don't want to play this game.
Yeah.
And finally, we walk in, I'm like, breath of fresh air. I was like, oh, it's nice.
Yeah. It's kind of like an oasis here in Miami, in a way, for me at least.
Yeah, feel that way.
Escape from the Miami scene where everything is
it's
out of the world, and yeah.
for sure. So, I mean, everybody's got a crazy Miami story. What's the wildest thing you've seen in here?
Here? Our first,
He knows something.
he knows a lot of something. Our first night opening actually was a very wild story. We had a huge line. We have one stall. We had a huge line for the bathroom, and this girl's just like squats down and pee on the floor, and I was like, oh my god, that can't be true. On the first night.
Start off strong.
That's pretty wild.
Your handled up.
I mean, we just had to clean it and tell her, okay, the door is right there. Have a good night.
Does that warrant her getting 86 forever?
Oh, well, she came back after. We know somebody.
Did it again?
No.
Just marking territory. Let you know that's her bathroom.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that was one of the craziest ones.
That's very kind of you to let her back in.
I know, right?
It almost feels like I can start DJing, as you have people trying to reach over here and grab and start trying to scratch or anything like that. They think they're DJ lethal.
No, people are very respectful actually. Yeah. In that way, they don't intend to play any records. They come and ask, oh, what records? This is the reason why we put this over here. That way you can see what the record that we're playing.
Right.
And yeah, we're trying to share the music,
So as you put as you start playing the music, this is the record that's right, corresponding to the music every time?
That's right.
So everybody knows what's playing.
Yeah, that way, I mean, if I mix it in a way and I can answer you right away, you can probably see the vinyl cover. And
right.
Yeah.
It's like Spotify, you see the artwork on there, it's the same.
Perfect. And even if you want to grab it, you ask me kindly and I'll lend it to you,
That is awesome.
Right on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is cool.
These records are very expensive and hard to get,
You have a lot of them.
How many would you say you have?
1,200.
It's 1,200. Jesus. How long does it take you to collect 1,200 records?
Well, for this specific collection here, they were bought in 3 stacks.
Right.
One came from Mexico City and the other 2 came from New York.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of the people that come over here and play, they're from Miami, so they're bringing that Miami sound
Okay.
to it,
So are they bringing you guys
No, they bring their own records. You see, like I brought my own 3 batches of records.
Right.
There was like 4. And yeah.
Got you.
So something that I really fell in love with about this place was the name itself.
Miami Sound.
Miami Sound. Yeah. What was the inspiration behind that?
Well, my partner wanted people to know that this is Miami Sound Bar. Like, this is where people in Miami come to listen to music. That was his inspiration when he came up with the name.
That's out. It's pretty straight. Just any music, good music.
Yeah. Miami.
The Miami Sound.
The Miami Sound.
The sound of Miami.
Describe Miami Sound.
Miami Sound.
Anular, the actual sound of Miami.
Yeah. can be wild sometimes. I like that. Wild, a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
A lot of ups and downs. That's for me like tropic.
Yeah, well, that's, again, all the cultures blended together, melting pot, trying to find a way, get along together, and create this community that we have down here where we're all here, might as well get along,
Yeah.
you know? But some crazy things have happened in this city because of that.
Yeah.
You know, this is why Miami is so different from everywhere else in the world.
Let's be honest, everybody wants to move to Miami now.
Yeah.
Even people who left,
Face.
they come right back.
Just pull them right back. You think you can get away to San Diego? No. You go right back in here.
Right back into 305.
305 to let down.
Repas.
And then paz, yeah, all of it.
What's the quintessential Miami dish, do you think?
Oh, the quintessential Miami dish. So this is a dangerous question because depending what neighborhood you're in or who you're talking to, that's going to be so different. But I think growing up here, predominantly Cuban culture, I ate a lot of ropa vieja.
Ropa vieja?
I ate a lot of lechon.
Okay.
And I'm Colombian. Like my family's from Colombia. But I grew up.
It's okay.
We grew up eating a lot of Cuban food, and I'm gonna be crucified for this. I prefer it. Yeah, I do. I love my black beans and white rice with my ropa vieja and my sweet plantains.
That's a hot take.
I know.
What?
I know.
It's true. There's nothing better than good, authentic Cuban food from Miami. I mean, you can see other places like a Cuban restaurant somewhere, Austin, maybe even New York. The best is in Miami, bar none. Can't beat it. Absolutely no other substitute for Miami Cuban.
As authentic as it gets. I'd say that's my favorite. That's what I was craving whenever I was hungover in San Diego or homesick.
The prodigal daughter returns. Awesome. Well, appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. All right, thank you for opening your doors to us, and I can't imagine Miami not having a place like this now, because it's such a unique concept and it fits so well, especially the location. It's right in the heart of it. Yeah. So, yeah, it's very nice meeting you.
My place.
Appreciate it, Gil. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And Brigitte, thank you for coming back.
Thank you for welcoming me back.
Glad to have you back home.
Do you feel the presence?
Yeah. On to the next one. Okay. Cheers to our empty drinks.
Cheers.
Miami's a city of reinvention. People come to chase something or to escape it. Brigitte did both. Left, came back, like a lot of us do. Miami Soundbar doesn't shout, it hums. A dim room, great records, better drinks. It's not a scene, it's a shift. A reminder that sometimes the best nights aren't the loudest ones.